Hey, let's play the associations game. I show an apple with a bite taken out of it, and you tell me what you thought of first. Or how about a curvy checkmark? Apple and Nike. Bingo! Today, we recognize a company by its logo faster than by its name. But what makes a logo successful? Going flat? The first logos appeared in ancient Egypt. People back then used hieroglyphics to mark their property. Later, in medieval times, people used graphic imagery to recognize the status of different houses. The modern era of logos began in the 19th century. The development of typography pushed the advertising industry forward. People started to use bold, decorative typefaces and images in newspapers. Brands immediately grabbed the idea and started putting their names on the pages to draw readers' attention to their products. Next step: colors. When industrialization was at full speed, the number of companies grew. Brands needed to stand out from the crowd somehow, so they added eye-catching colored images to their names. One of the first companies to do that was Shell. In 1897, the company's founder chose a mussel shell for the logo because his father was an importer of seashells to London collectors. Today, it's one of the most familiar commercial logos in the world. Levi's is known for its iconic two-horse logo. The image of horses trying to pull apart a pair of jeans was created in 1886. It was made to show customers how durable the company's jeans are. Over the years, the brand created two other logos, the red tab and the bat wing. This second represents the shape of the back pocket on a pair of 501s. Over time, logos became more elaborate and sophisticated, some being nothing short of a masterpiece. But in the second half of the 20th century, designers realized that a logo should be clean, catchy, and easy to remember. That's when brands turned their heads to simplicity. The person who changed everyone's opinion on visual communication was Paul Rand. He created the 8-bar IBM logo, which made the company's initials instantly recognizable throughout the world. Rand's style still has a huge impact on graphic designers today. The coming of the digital era paved the way for companies to use dynamic logo types. A prime example of this is Google Doodles changing the logo on the main page. It can change the content, but the overall structure remains the same. They're used to remind us about holidays, achievements, and some historical events in figures. Now look at the footer of the search page. The logo type can stretch with an additional O for each page results. Even when touchscreens came around, not everyone was ready to switch from reality to the virtual world. To adapt these innovations easier, designers made 3D icons for gadget screens. They added shadows, volume, and textures to the images to make them look like a real thing, a design concept called skeuomorphism. Sounds like something you can be treated with medication for. Companies took note and made their logos more 3D looking. As the world got more used to new technologies, designers shifted back to 2D. The minimalist flat design became popular because it gave more screen space for functionality. Another advantage of this flat design is that 2D logos look good on both small and large screens. But even with this new trend, some brands were firmly sticking to their realistic 3D logos and app icons. But the world changed when Apple announced the iOS 7 in June 2013. This operating system was the first to get rid of skeuomorphism. The new design pushed more developers to flatten their apps to be in tune with the operating system. Just a year later, more than 90% of iPhones were running on iOS 7. After the jump to a more practical flat design, the 3D type became obsolete. Now, even companies outside the tech industry, like Volkswagen, have simplified their logos to be more minimalist. But some companies have used the same logo for decades, like Chupa Chups. This logo type was designed in 1969 by the surrealist artist Salvador Dali. Coca-Cola was using its famous script in advertisements back in 1886. Later, the brand adopted its distinct red color. Many companies use it today in their brand names and logos because it immediately catches the eye. The standard color and ribbon wave made the Coca-Cola brand name recognizable even if it's written in different languages. Logo-type design often involves a whole team of high-paid professionals, but not for all famous logos. Nike's swoosh was done by then graphic design student CAROLYN Davidson for just $35. But don't worry, she got a much better compensation once the company went big. Nestle's logo used to be the Nestle family coat of arms decorated with a bird sitting in a nest. In 1868, they developed the first version of the logo we all know today, a mother bird feeding her 3 little chicks. The upgrade was to reflect the company's main activity in baby nutrition. But look closer at the logo today. There are only 2 young birds. As the story goes, the 3rd bird was removed to better illustrate the average modern family of 2 children. Either that or a hawk got the 3rd one. Hey, just saying. You wouldn't even recognize Apple's first logo. It looks like an old, intricate engraving. The flowy ribbon wrapped around it reads, Apple Computer and Company. But squint your eyes for a closer look. You'll see a man sitting under a tree, beautiful hills rolling in the background. The man is reading a book, and above him hangs a single apple. Yes, it's Isaac Newton himself. The now familiar apple with a bite appeared the next year in 1977. An effective logo should not only be simple and distinctive, but also have a smart concept. Just look at the Airbnb logo. It combines 3 symbols: the head of a traveler, a location icon, and a heart. The shape of the logo represents the letter A, which is the first letter of the brand's name. The Beats Electronics Company logo also has 2 layers. The first one is clear. A white circle inside a bigger red one resembles the letter B for Beats. But look again. Do you see a side view of someone wearing headphones? Cool, huh? However, the only thing that really counts is, great logo or not, will you buy the product?